How's everybody doing today? Welcome to another edition of LPR Live. It's a Wednesday. It's always a Wednesday. Hey, and I'm on Instagram. I'm on our Mixcloud as well. If you want to go to Let Pedal Radio, go to mixcloud.com/letpedalradio.com. Hey, we've got let's see, we got Arsh07. Hi. Rips Transport's on with us. I bet you that's Margaret just hiding in the wings going, hey, send me some drivers. You guys are looking. You know what? Today's show is brought to you by RIM, so hey, we may as well just talk about them anyway. They're looking for owner-operators, and you know what? They have got opportunity for people who are licensed to dump truck and bulk transport. You probably thought that they were only a steel carrier, but who would know? Anyway, good. Thanks for joining us there, RIM Transport. We got Jason Osborne with us, and Jason wave. RIM's Transport. Margaret said, yeah, that's me. Anyway, we're going to talk about a bunch of stuff today. Let's see, we just had HJ Logistics joined us as well. So we are on Mixcloud. We are on Instagram. As you know, we usually do that on Wednesdays. Mondays we do Mixcloud's where all of our radio shows are. Mondays we do trivia there. So we're on Facebook. So Wednesdays I go on Instagram. Fridays I usually do TikTok. We're all over the place, but we're here, and you know how that is. We are having a blast today. Just because it's Wednesday. There's no other reason. Here's what we're talking about on the show today. Let's see. Okay, so we're gonna be talking about some headlines. Okay, now as you know, if you're new to this, Mixcloud is where we do the whole show because I play some music and stuff after. We can't do that on Instagram, so we're just gonna do part of the show here, probably about 10-15 minutes of it. But just to let you know what we're gonna be talking about on the whole show, we're gonna be talking about some of the trucking headlines out there. We'll see what's new. Roadside inspections. This is where you guys come in. Hold on with this one. Roadside inspections from the ministry doing surveys. The Quebec forestry haulers are out of work. Ooh, not good because of the forest fires. What do you think about double brokering? Is that good? Is it bad? We're going to be talking about that. Of course, you guys probably saw on the weekend I-95 is closed. If you're heading through the Philly area, you want to be careful with that. And we'll be sharing some of the Shell Super Rig winners with you as well. So lots of stuff coming up. And but while I'm on Instagram, before we get into, we'll do the headlines and all that later. Before we start into that, here's what I want to know from you guys. I think it's interesting that the MTO is the one doing the roadside data survey. Now, they got to do data surveys, right? So this is nothing new. You got to do data surveys because they try to track. So they say in their data surveys they track where traffic's going, vehicle classifications, weights and dimensions, commodity details, border crossings, trip routes, driver demographics, and driver experience. Now, okay, so here's my question to you. And whether you want to answer now, put it in the chat later. Go ahead. If the MTO pulls you over, how excited are you to do a data survey? So they did this back in 2018, 2019. I think you remember the last data survey they did. It took about 6 months, and they got nothing. Remember the parking one? We need to do a parking survey. And they did a whole parking survey to tell us that we needed like 300 more spots. Could have just asked me, I would have told them. And where did they decide to put them after all of that survey? They said, let's put them where the service plazas are. Now, I don't know about you, but when I'm a truck driver, when I was trucking, as soon as I saw buses in the service plaza, out of there, not stopping, going by. That's why I was pretty excited. I don't know if you guys saw last week, I was at Chrome Supply Warehouse in Belleville, and we were doing some live stuff from there, and I was at the IHOP across the road. Now, I'm not promoting IHOP at all. I don't know anything about IHOP, but it was good to see a nice family restaurant. I gotta say, I've been in that IHOP twice. I don't think they have showers and stuff anymore, but as far as a clean place to sit down and get a proper trucking meal, I gotta say, it's nice to see it back in the 10 acre. For those of you who are old truckers like me, you know that the 10 acre was the spot to be. You could not go by there and not see it full. So to see it looking better is what we want to do. Hey, so it's good to see everybody. So on here we got Arsh07, RIM's Transport, Jason Osborne, HJ Logistics, and I think you guys are out in Windsor, are you not? HJ Logistics, I think you are. I remember you on from before. So we're trying to get more steady. We made a ton of changes in May if you haven't been with us. But this is what I want to know from you guys. Tell me, put it in the chat. If the MTO pulls you over, and I gotta say, I like the way they hide it in it. We're doing a data survey. So here's what they're interested in: vehicle classification, license, right? License, CVOR, weights and dimensions. Let's just bring her on the scale, buddy. Let's see how you go up there. Commodity details and border crossing. Oh, let's check your load. Trip route. Oh, are you on the right highway? Driver demographics. Oh, yeah, let's check your license, see how old you are. And then driver experience. So how are you enjoying the data survey so far? That's what... Is it just me? Is it just me? What would you do? Would you? So, okay, let's assume they were not pulling you over for any other reason than to do a data survey. Would you be excited about it? I honestly don't think that the MTO are the people that should be doing data surveys. When MTO pulls anybody over, it's not for a data survey. It is to either give you a violation or something along that line, right? It's not necessarily a good deal. And I'm not all excited about, MTO guy, and trust me, I like the MTO. I got lots of friends that are MTO. No. What's your thoughts on that? That's what I want to know today. What is your thoughts on that for sure? Hey, Mr. Chuck Snow is here. Oh, Chuck Snow CEO. Chuck just joined us here on Instagram. If you guys haven't heard, just a couple weeks, last week I guess it was, Chuck's in Reno. He's probably back now, but he's in Reno hanging out with all the old historical trucks because he's got an old historical truck. But Chuck has the Rates and Lanes podcast with Rico Muhammad, and I was on there last week. Go check it out if you didn't see it. We had a really interesting conversation about a whole lot of stuff. But our question for this is, if the MTO pulls you over to conduct a data survey with drivers, they could go to your company if they wanted. Yeah, it's more exciting when they show up at the company, right? Would you be comfortable filling it out? Would you be happy that they stopped you to do a data survey? I honestly think if the MTO or OPP are pulling me over, that unless it's like at a truck show or something like that, that's different when you're talking about that. And maybe that's where they should be doing the data surveys, not pulling people over the roadside. But they say that this is they use this information to collect and improve our understanding of movement of goods and truck to support transportation planning, highway safety, and police development as part of the MTO and they're also doing employment equity. I like how HJ Elastic says, no telling what they have up their sleeves. There's always a catch behind it. I'd be pissed. We got places to be. I agree. We all got places to be. And pulling me over for a non-violation to check out a data survey that only takes 15 minutes. That's 15 minutes of my time, which I did not say that they can have. I think it's... So they say, here's how they're going to do it. As part of the work MTO is doing employment, it is also collecting demographic data. So commercial trucks are selected at random. Ooh, doesn't that seem like kind of normal? From the stream of traffic by MTO. Okay, so you're driving along, you're in traffic, and the MTO waves you over. So now... and the enforcement officer says, would you participate in a voluntary survey? Yeah, right after I knock your block up. And then drivers who do not want to participate will be released immediately. So they pull you over, right? They drag a tractor trailer over to the side of the road, out of the stream of traffic, to ask if they want to do a survey. And if the driver says no, they're going to automatically release them. Do you really think this is how it's going to work? There is no mechanism to trace the driver to the collected survey data. Drivers will be provided an information card should they request one. And the ministry is worried about the safety of all participants, adherence to the survey methodology and collecting data. Delays of commercial vehicle operators are kept to a minimum, and that all participants in the survey are treated with respect. Okay. Is it just me? I got nothing against the MTO or the OPP. You guys know that. I promote safety here, and we all need safe highways. And even when it's road check, they're doing their job. They're doing their job. But to pull me over for a survey, you know what? Send an email. Like, that's what I'm not doing a survey at the side of the road. And if you get pulled into a scale, to me, that's not the time to do a survey. Either that or you got all the information already, right? Like, you already got that. All they got to do is punch in your MC number on your on the computer, and they got all that information. They check your driver's license. They got all that information. They actually don't need to do a survey. They look at your load. They got all that information. They weighed you on the way in, right? You want to do it at the scales? Boom. You don't have to ask me a question. Just weigh it on and you'll see. Is it a woman driving? Is it a man driving? Is it a chipmunk driving? I don't know who it is, right? So that's who it is. You know, so they can get this just by rolling you through the scale. To me, that's when you should do it. If you're going to pull me out of traffic, we got a real issue. A real issue.